Most people don't lose money through one big mistake. They lose it through dozens of small ones they never notice. It's rarely the expensive vacation or the new car that quietly destroys your finances. It's the $100 that disappears every week without you ever thinking about it. A streaming subscription you forgot about. Daily convenience purchases that don't seem like much. Food delivery fees. Bank charges. Impulse buys. Little expenses that feel harmless on their own but become thousands of dollars over the course of a year. The problem isn't that these purchases exist. The problem is that they happen automatically. Once spending becomes a habit instead of a decision, your paycheck starts disappearing before you even realize where it went. Today, I'm going to show you the hidden $100 mistake that keeps millions of people stuck living paycheck to paycheck. More importantly, I'll show you how to find it, stop it, and redirect that money toward building real financial security instead of financing habits you barely remember making. By the end of this video, you'll see your money differently. You'll understand why small financial leaks are often more dangerous than large purchases. And you'll leave with a simple strategy that can potentially save you thousands every year. If you're ready to keep more of the money you already earn, hit the like button, subscribe to the Daily Yield, and let's get started. The biggest threat to your finances usually isn't obvious. If someone stole $1,000 from your checking account overnight, you'd notice immediately. You'd call your bank, freeze your cards, and demand answers. But if your money disappears $20 here, $15 there, and $12 somewhere else, your brain barely reacts. That's because we're wired to notice big losses while overlooking repeated small ones. Those small purchases don't feel significant in the moment. A coffee before work, a convenience store stop, a subscription renewal, a delivery fee because you're too tired to cook. None of them seem like financial disasters. But here's what happens over time. $10 a day becomes $70 a week. $70 becomes more than $3,600 in a year. Suddenly, that small spending could have paid off debt, built an emergency fund, or covered several months of groceries. Most people don't have an income problem. They have a visibility problem. They never see how these tiny transactions add up because they look at each purchase individually instead of collectively. That's why financial success often has less to do with making more money and more to do with paying attention to where your current money is already going. Have you ever checked your bank account and wondered where all your money went? You're not alone. The reason has less to do with math and more to do with psychology. Your brain naturally adapts to repeated behavior. Once something becomes routine, you stop questioning it. That daily coffee no longer feels like spending because it's simply part of your morning. The same goes for automatic subscriptions, convenience purchases, and recurring online orders. They become invisible. Businesses understand this better than consumers do. That's why so many services encourage automatic billing. Once payments become automatic, you stop actively deciding whether the purchase is still worth it. You're no longer buying the service each month. You're simply allowing the payment to continue. The same thing happens with spending habits. Every small purchase feels justified in the moment because you're solving an immediate problem. You're saving time, rewarding yourself, or avoiding inconvenience. Individually, those decisions make sense. Collectively, they quietly reshape your financial future. This isn't about feeling guilty. It's about becoming aware. Once you understand how your brain processes routine spending, you can interrupt those habits before they quietly drain your paycheck month after month. Here's a challenge that might surprise you. Open your banking app and review the last 30 days of transactions. Don't judge yourself. Just look. Highlight every purchase that wasn't absolutely necessary. Maybe it's takeout. Maybe it's online shopping. Maybe it's convenience store snacks or digital subscriptions you forgot existed. Once you've highlighted everything, total the amount. For many people, that number is well over $100. Sometimes it's several hundred. This exercise isn't designed to make you feel bad. It's designed to give you clarity. You can't fix what you can't see. Financially successful people don't magically avoid spending. They simply review their spending often enough to catch leaks before they become habits. Think of it like checking your home's plumbing. A small drip doesn't seem urgent. but over time, it wastes an incredible amount of water. Your finances work the same way. A small money leak doesn't feel dangerous until you calculate what it costs over an entire year. That's the moment your perspective changes. You stop seeing purchases as isolated decisions and start seeing patterns. And patterns are what determine your financial future. Finding the leak is only the first step. The next step is giving that money a better job. Every dollar you stop wasting should immediately be assigned somewhere meaningful. Otherwise, it simply gets spent somewhere else. Maybe your extra $100 each month goes toward paying off a high-interest credit card. Maybe it builds your emergency fund. Maybe it gets invested for your future. The destination matters because money without a purpose usually disappears. This is one of the biggest differences between people who build wealth and those who constantly feel broke. Wealthy individuals don't just spend less. They intentionally redirect money toward assets and financial goals instead of allowing it to disappear through unconscious habits. Imagine investing $100 every month for years instead of spending it on purchases you barely remember. The long-term difference is enormous. Small decisions don't stay small forever. They compound. That's true whether you're building wealth or slowly draining your finances. Every dollar is casting a vote for the future you're creating. Changing your financial life doesn't require becoming perfect overnight. It requires becoming intentional. One of the simplest habits you can build is a weekly money review. Set aside 15 minutes once a week. Open your accounts. Review every transaction. Ask yourself one question. Would I buy this again today? If the answer is no, you found a money leak. This weekly habit keeps small problems from becoming expensive ones. It also changes your relationship with money. Instead of reacting after your paycheck is gone, you begin making proactive decisions throughout the month. Over time, this habit becomes automatic. You'll naturally pause before making purchases because you know you'll review them later. That awareness alone dramatically reduces impulse spending. Financial freedom isn't built by one giant decision. It's built through hundreds of small decisions made consistently over time. Those decisions begin with paying attention. The $100 mistake isn't really about $100. It's about unconscious spending. Every dollar you spend without thinking is a dollar that isn't working toward your future. That's why people with higher incomes can still struggle financially while others earning less steadily build wealth. Income matters, but habits matter more. The good news is that you don't need a raise to start improving your finances. You don't need to wait until next month or next year. You can start today by finding one unnecessary expense and giving that money a better purpose. Then do it again next week and the week after that. Small improvements compound into life-changing results. Before you know it, you're no longer wondering where your paycheck went. You're telling your money exactly where it should go. So here's today's challenge. Review your last 30 days of spending and find your hidden $100. Then tell me in the comments what surprised you the most. If this video helped you think differently about money, hit the like button, subscribe to the Daily Yield, and let's continue creating wealth because we are building real financial progress one step at a time.